Hello everybody, it's Wyvern here with another bit of Total War, Warhammer 2, quick match gameplay. This time around we are on the Deadwood, having a Wood Elf Civil War. And as you can see, almost immediately, the builds and strategies we are using, the builds and tactics, are going to be very different. I think me and my opponent went in with very different expectations of what we needed to bring to deal with our opponents. Either way, I figured that it was likely my opponent would bring some archers. Obviously, that's Wood Elf classic is archer spam. And so I needed some counters to run down archers. I needed something to deal with the squishy infantry in a relatively cost-efficient manner. And obviously, I needed something to zone away cavalry and all that sort, and chase down flyers. So, without further ado, let's kind of break things down. For my lord, I did bring Lady with Prey of Anathrema and Arrow of Kurnus. Nothing too fancy. She's on a Great Eagle just to give her that speed. 110 speed is very valuable to get the heck out of dodge and keep yourself alive. Even the fastest Wood Elf units are only at 110 speed, so this means she can really kite and run away when and as needed. My front line is composed entirely of Dryads, and you can see there are 6 units of them, backed by a single branch wraith with Earthblood, Awakening of the Woods, Amelkat's Defy Miasma, the other Trickster's Shard for that magic debuff, and Call of the Woods for +5 melee attack. The other Trickster's Shard, of course, is very useful for the Dryads who do magic damage, so they get an extra 22% damage against anything they're fighting. The main reason I brought Awakening of the Wood and Melkot's Defy Miasma is in case my opponent brought a bunch of skirmishers, I'd be able to hit them with debuffs, slow them down, and allow my Dryads to close the gap, especially with the fact that I brought Smoke and Mirrors. Basically, this is in case my opponent decides to try to kite me out, I would have the tools to run him down with all these Dryads. And the Dryads aren't the fastest, they only got 36 speed. So scouts, and especially when they're not tired, but even when they're tired, scouts will give you a run for your money, and Way Watchers can kite you pretty easily. Out on the flanks, I do have some Wild Riders with shields, as well as some Sisters of the Thorn on one end, simple Wild Riders on the other. The Wild Riders are, of course, with shields. I think silver shields are kind of critical if you're trying to run down and hunt Wood Elf archers. Otherwise, these guys can, of course, tie down enemy skirmishers. They can try to pursue dragons. Of course, the Wood Elf monsters are, by and large, squishy and easy to kind of keep pinned down. You can see the eagles here with 30 armor, or the forest dragon with 50, so nothing too fancy. Backline support is composed of 2 units of Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shards to overwhelm, of course, squishy armor troops and magic physical resistances, and then a single unit of Way Watchers in case my opponent decides to do something weird like Durthu or Treekin, which I don't think are very common against Wood, or I don't think it would be too logical against Wood Elves, because they do have the Starfire shafts, which kind of melt trees. Either way, my opponent did something completely different. For his lord, he did decide to bring a Glady up on a Forest Dragon with everything, including well, not all the not the items, but including the Eye of Kurnus, though, for that plus 30% or plus 10% missile damage in 30-meter range. She's already sniping away at something, not entirely sure what. She's alongside another Forest Dragon, which is rather surprising, and a Spellslinger of Life with a Regrowth and Earth or in Life Bloom. 3 units of Eternal Guard are camping out in the woods back here. Unshielded, so definitely a bit of a risky pick against Wood Elves. With a 40 armor unshielded unit is definitely, I think, a very, very squishy, risky pick again if you're fighting against Wood Elves. Can definitely go very wrong very fast. Over here, Spellslinger of Beasts coming in with a Wild Heart, as well as a Transformation of Kadon to get that Manticore support, and a cavalry contingent of Sisters of the Thorn and 3 units of unshielded Wild Riders. So a lot of very few shields for my opponent, which definitely caught me by surprise. You can't say I'm pushing forward. My opponent was completely hidden. I started out in the open. I wasn't hiding anything. My opponent hid a lot, and so I had no idea entirely what he had brought, and so I immediately started pushing forward. You can see the branch rate's already taking some fire. You can see my Glady here trying to juke, trying to avoid getting caught by these nasty flyers, because if she does, it's going to be a grim day for the Wood Elves. In the meantime, though, I'm pushing forward. You can see over here, my opponent is actually going to get a nasty charge here against the Wild Riders. One mistake I would say my opponent made is not bringing Power Stones on his mages. Those can definitely be very useful. Now, unfortunately, I do get hit by Prey of Anathrema here. My poor Glady is in a very bad spot, and she's immediately getting gooned by those flyers, and she's not even able to turn. She's going to get smushed here, and she's taking a beating immediately. But I respond with my mob of archers, and you can see that fire. Swift Shards, of course, bypassing the physical resist on the Glady. Another Prey of Anathrema goes down in turn, and the Glady is in for a world of hurt. Way Watchers, the sniping away. You can see knocking her down by about 1400 HP, and the Swift Shards are just going to unload and lay a smackdown on this filthy dragon. You can see so much damage going down, 221 HP. My opponent does cast a regrowth here, but it's really not going to be enough. That lady is in a rough spot. In the meantime, my own Glady is fleeing for dear life, using her 110 speed to escape. She does get breath attacked there, but I just need to get out, just fleeing as fast as I can. Here in the pits, the Dryads have managed to kind of protect my cavalry contingent. In the meantime, my archer's picking away at this forest dragon, forcing it, zoning it away. Over here, the Glady did, I do believe, fall somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where. I thought she died. Oh no, she escaped. I lied. I thought I got her, but apparently I didn't. Either way, this dragon being a little bit greedy here. I do have the wild riders, you can see, camping out right below me, waiting for the forest dragon to take a dive, but my opponent is having none of it and kind of skirmishes away. And you can see over here the Spellslinger actually makes a dive here. You can see that fire from the Swift Shivers messing up the Way Watchers pretty badly. The Summon Manticore diving into the Swift Shivers. It's definitely some rough stuff, but the Spellslinger's in a bad spot herself now. You can see getting whittled down by Swift Shivers. She only has 30 armor and no physical resist, so she's in for a bad time. And you can see the Wild Riders actually catching up there and definitely going to lay the smackdown on her. And you can see the Glady hits her with an Arrow of Kurnus, and the Wild Riders tearing her apart. In the meantime, on the ground, the Feral Manticore has Rampage. You can see I'm trying to pursue all this cavalry, using my Sisters of the Thorn to pursue and pressure the Spellslinger, who does shatter here, getting run down. My opponent's definitely in a rough spot. His Sisters of the Thorn camping out over there. He hasn't pulled out his Eternal Guard, probably realizing that I've got such an overwhelming advantage in the firing department. Over here you can see the Manticore does dive down once again, just pursuing my troops, but I'm pulling my cavalry out, trying to save my shooting contingent right now, because I wasn't sure. I really wanted to get rid of this nuisance of a Forest Dragon, hit it with a Prey of Anathrema, knock it down to very little HP almost immediately. We do get this Feral Manticore and these Wild Riders caught on the ground. Of course, the Wild Riders don't have shields, so they're going to be very squishy. And they don't actually manage to finish off these Swift Shards because they're being reconcentrated on this on this fight here. And Sisters of the Thorn, of course, do have 50% physical resist, so they're going to stick around somewhat effectively despite their low armor. You can see my cavalry getting clear. I do get an Earthblood off because I still have my Astra of Life. And the Feral Manticore, of course, is not going to last long. An Awakening of the Wood does go down to slow those guys down. They're in a very bad spot. They're going to get tied down. I do believe I actually hit him with a Curse of Honor there. And my opponent's army is simply going to shatter there, and he's going to GG out. So, a very fun, very fast-paced game. Was entertaining, I think. It's one of the few times I've actually gotten a mirror matchup. Usually, if you try to do a mirror matchup with someone, they'll switch off. In this case, I actually chose Wood Elves, and my opponent decided to do Wood Elves as well, so that was pretty cool. It's always fun to try a mirror matchup and just see how things work out, see what everyone's interpretation of how to deal with mirror matchups is. So great game to my opponent, UCave here. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. I do hope you found it entertaining. Obviously, it wasn't too serious of a match, I think, for either of us. We both brought somewhat silly builds. I don't know what UCave was thinking. I know what I was thinking as far as what was needed. But regardless, it was pretty fun. We got to see some massive Wood Elf focused fire from the Deepwood Scouts and the Way Watchers just annihilating a Glady and a Dragon in a matter of seconds. So really some pretty brutal stuff. Wild Riders got annihilated. So Wood Elf Civil Wars are often very quick and brutal. So that was a lot of fun. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. If you have any comments, criticism, any questions about the game or anything like that, be sure to share them in the comment section. I'll respond as soon as I can. As usual, guys, I do appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.